Welcome to Vision, Impact, and Purpose. See your vision, walk in your purpose, and impact lives with your gifts and talents. Thank you for tuning in to listen to Tikwa, your Christian virtual assistant coach. Join Coach Tikwa as she shares her own journey, shifts your mindset, inspires you while sharing insights and tips for a profitable virtual assistant business along the way. Now here is your host, Tikwa, founder of PowerPo Assistants.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of Vision, Impact, and Purpose. Thank you for joining us because today we have a wonderful, beautiful person today as my guest on this podcast. Her name is Pearlette Cassells, and she is an international best-selling author, speaker, productivity, and empowerment coach. She helped busy authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs improve their time management and get things done so that they can have the results they want and live the life they desire and deserve. So we are going to welcome Pearlette Cassells. Hi, Pearlette. How are you doing?
I am doing great, Tikwa. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Blessed.
We're blessed and highly favored.
Oh, yes. Amen. So we're going to be talking about the number one overlooked habit to get things done without the overwhelm. And Miss Pearlette Cassells is the expert at this. So we are going to dive into what that one habit that we overlook so that she can help you get some things done throughout the day. Because I know for me, sometimes it's hard to keep things. I'm a coach, I train, and I got my agency. I'm a single mom and all that stuff. So I want to know what this number one overlooked habit is.
All right. Thank you so much, Tikwa. I really appreciate the opportunity of being here with you and with your amazing audience. And yes, I am Pearlette Cassells, and it's a joy to be here because I always love sharing helpful tips so we can apply in our everyday life.
Yes, and this is not the first time that I had Pearlette. She joined me in my group as well with my group of VAs to help them get some things done in their life with time management, with their business, because I think as busy business owners that we are, we need that structure. We definitely need time management. Okay. We only get a certain amount of time a day. So we have to learn how to manage that time. And Pearlette, if you want to talk about that one habit, we ready to hear what's going on. I want to know.
I know. I almost feel like I should have a drum roll. Yes. So you know how for many of us, we have like a plan, or we're like, I'm going to do this for sure this year. The new year comes and we like almost declare it. And then when it gets to the action part, then we go missing. We're like not follow up. We're not consistent. And so for myself personally, this was a habit that eluded me as well. I thought it wasn't necessary until a few years ago. My whole life changed because I had a near-death experience. I had surgery, and then after the surgery, while I was in the room recovering, in an instant, I couldn't breathe. And that was the most frightening thing. And I remember Code Blue was called, and then the nurses came and everybody, and they were fitting me with the oxygen mask, Tikwa. It was at that point it occurred to me that I might die because I couldn't breathe at all. I had to be assisted. And my goodness, my mind flashed and said, my unfinished business. I have a list of things I wanted to do. I wanted to be an author. I wanted to travel, all these amazing things. I had the list. And over here was thinking, I'm young. I can get it done whenever. Like, what's the rush? And here I am in the hospital. Can't breathe. Don't know what's going to happen. The nurse is trying to talk to me to make sure that I stay alert, right? And so I could nod or anything because I'm running out of breath here. And on a prayer, on a promise, I asked God for a second chance because I'm like, I don't want to go back with all these dreams, all these goals. I wasn't intentional. And that is one of the things you have to be intentional. So the number one habit that I have discovered is scheduling. We have the action plan over here, one side, and we want to get the results over here and the other side. We know we have to take action, but if we don't schedule our task, what gets scheduled gets done. And many people do not schedule their stuff. And because of that, they are inconsistent in taking action and they do not get the results that they desire and deserve. And that was my own experience as well. So I started to develop the habit, week ahead planning. And I found that when I mapped out my week on a Sunday evening, I have a 4-step system that I use, that I created. All these things, as soon as I got better, I'm like, nope, the next time, if I have to leave this world, there won't be unfinished business about all the things that God entrusted with me, my gifts, my talents, my abilities. I was just sitting on them, thinking I have time. So I started to develop the habit of scheduling, and in particular, week ahead planning. Every Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, I would sit down and grab my planner, map out my week. Okay, what things do I want to accomplish this week? And then I reverse engineer. Whatever it is, the results I want to get, I just reverse engineer. So what are those tasks that I need to do to get them done? And I found that that reduced my stress and also the overwhelm, because as we know, everybody is busy. You get up every day and there is always something coming at you. And if you don't have a plan in place and how to execute it, the time is just going to run by, zip by, and you do not get the things that you want to accomplish, especially those gifts, talents, and abilities that God gave us, that people are out there waiting for us because they connect with us, right? Their transformation, we are attached to their transformation. So when I learned those things and the importance of scheduling, there is a quote that says, we need a plan and a schedule to get it done. The plan is the what, the schedule is the when. So scheduling is the most overlooked habit to get things done without overwhelm.
Yes, Pearlette. And as I was sitting here listening to you, I was like, yep, that was me. Yep. All that. So what I heard, some of the words that you were saying, you threw out there. One, you were in the hospital and you were saying, God, you give me this chance. That right there was powerful, because we take a lot of things for granted.
Yes.
And also we don't pursue the things that we want to because we think that we have all this time. Okay.
Right.
And when you're put in that position, it's like your life flashed before your eyes. And that's when God say, okay, now you woke up. This is what I've been trying to show you all along. Those gifts and talents that I have blessed you with for my good, for my glory, for you to go out there to help my people. Another thing that I heard that was very important was being intentional. A lot of us are not being intentional. And this is why we don't see the results that we want to see, because we're not being intentional about it. We're not writing those things out and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to tackle today. And this is what I'm going to focus on. And what is those things, those action steps that I need to do in order for me to get that done? That is the most important. And then planning it out. You mentioned planning. There are so many journals out there. There are so many goal planners. They have a coach like you that they could come to get the steps done. They have so much resources. And just when you said that God gave you the gifts and talent, he gave you that gift and talent. This is why I wanted to have you here on this podcast, because a lot of people are lost. A lot of people, they want to start their business And some of us are in our business, but when it comes to the planning and the time management, that's when everything just go out the window. And then we don't see the results because we don't plan. So this is why God has put you in this place so that you can help us get there, because a lot of us don't know how to do that. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show today, and then planning it out, scheduling it. So another thing that I wanted to point out as well, when you said how that sometimes things just get thrown at you throughout the day. Mm-hmm. Well, as an assistant working in a corporate office, we may have our set schedule. What we do, we have our schedule come in, you get your coffee, you check your emails, you check your to-do list and things like that. But it never, that day, even though you planned it and you have your set schedule, there's so many things that will get thrown at you. And if you don't have a plan, a structure, or anything, you're going to just get all scrambled and all nervous, and you're not going to know what to do because you have not even had a structure coming in. So now you're able to handle those things that's going to be thrown at you. So thank you for pointing those things out.
Yes, you are welcome. And, I encourage people, we live life by design, not by default, right? So doesn't matter what comes at you. You're like, okay, you have your plan. Just like you were saying, I find knowing that I have a plan is so reassuring, because every evening I call it that's a wrap, the task that I do to set me up for the next day, right? Check my calendar, do my calendar sneak peek, see what's coming up the next day. It doesn't take me by surprise. I know that, okay, tomorrow I have this, and this to do. What are the things that I can maybe prepare ahead of time so that it's not a surprise the next day? Another thing I find, and this was happening to me as well, I wanted to write books and publish books. I had no clue how to start. And when you don't know what to do, the first thing we do is to procrastinate, right?
Yes, definitely. That's the number one thing.
Yes. So, but guess what? You have to connect with your why. When you connect with your why and have a compelling why that's so emotional, listen, you cannot rest until you do it. You cannot rest until you do it. And I find that we have to start there with our why. Why is it important? And the other thing I learned from Tony Robbins is that you don't get your shoulds, you get your musts. Right? Yes. You get your must. If you think, oh, I should do that, and you're unsure, it's the thing that you must do. You find that will inspire you to just get up and keep going despite setbacks or hurdles. Yeah, so I encourage everyone to make sure you are setting time aside. And I have a 4-step system called PREP. That is kind of the framework that I follow every week. And the P is for pause. Set aside time. Be intentional. Set that time aside. Grab your journal. Grab your pen. Or if you do it electronically, just grab your digital planner or whatever. Then the R is to reflect. And when we reflect with gratitude. Because guess what? Today or tomorrow is not promised. The next moment is not promised to us. I learned it that day in the hospital. Because honestly, I went to that hospital not worrying about anything, because the surgeon said to me, I do this kind of surgery all the time. Mm-hmm. So that didn't even cross my mind, to be honest. Right. I didn't even know this could happen. I mean, I was expecting anything unusual. So the R is to reflect. And when you reflect, as I mentioned, you reflect with gratitude. Also, you reflect and say, what brought joy and laughter in my life last week? Because we need that. Laughter is like medicine. And we need to be supported by people who love us and care about us. And the other big one, Tikwa, when you reflect, how were you intentional in making your self-care a priority? You know how everything else gets taken care of, but when it comes to us, especially women, we put ourselves on the back burner
all the time.
Yes. Everybody is get taken care of. So that is R, to reflect. And then we move on to the E. E is to evaluate your week. Always make sure you are evaluating, because you don't want to keep repeating things that are not working. And I always encourage people to prioritize. Okay, what can I stop doing that is not working? Based on everything you've been trying, things not working. What can I start doing? Maybe you learned a new strategy or something that you can apply. What can I start doing? And the next one, what can I continue doing? If it's already working for you, what can I continue doing? And so when you evaluate, always celebrate your wins, big or small. You celebrate it because it means that you're making progress. And ask yourself as well, what was a challenge for me? And from that challenge, don't let the challenge, don't just see it as a challenge and you just leave it alone. Examine it and say, what was a lesson I got from that challenge? And how can I use that lesson to improve my life? And then the last letter in the 4-step system, prep, is to plan ahead. So you've evaluated your week, you have reflected, and now you're going to plan the new week. And I always say, start with your why. Why is it important that I achieve these goals this week? What is going to help me to move forward? What task will be helpful? And your task should always be actionable, measurable, and manageable. And if they don't fall within those three, I find that we procrastinate. Actionable. And for example, I will drink 2 liters of water daily so that I improve my health. So I will drink, we make it actionable. That is what you'll be doing. And then measurable, 2 liters of water daily. So at the end of the day, when I look back, my answer should be yes or no with the measurable. Did you drink it? Did you drink the 2 liters? Yes or no? And then manageable. In order for things to be consistent, for us to be consistent, if it's not manageable, we will start, but we will not continue. So we have to make sure we fit it into our busy life. It should be a little bit challenging, but also we should make it manageable. There's a quote that I like from Marie Forleo, and it says, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. So it's what we do consistently that will bring us those transformative results that we so desire.
Yes, that is so true. That consistency is the key to getting the results that you want. I love it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that was awesome, because that is exactly what I do in my journal, is that pause. So when you talked about, so just to recap, she talked about the word prep, and this fits everything that she said in her 4-step system, which is P for pause, which is just being intentional, and R for reflect, just showing gratitude. And I know that for me, I do that all the time, showing gratitude. Gratitude for God just giving me the life and giving me the opportunity to be a mom to my boys, to live and to be able to use the gifts and the talents that He blessed me with. Showing gratitude helps as well as you go through your day. And that reflection on the things that you have done. And then E, she talked about the evaluate your week, because how we know things are working out if we don't evaluate these things and just talk them out and look at them in plain view, because in God says, write the vision, make it plain. If we don't write it, we can't see it.
No,
you know? Telling you,
it's all in the head there, and it's taking up space.
Exactly. And those wins, we don't celebrate ourselves enough. You made a valid point about women always doing, and we don't make ourselves a priority. And then we also don't even give ourselves praises when we do those things. It's like, oh, okay, I did this, because we're so used to always doing that we don't stop and say, you know what? I'm going to celebrate myself today, because I was able to accomplish this, and this, right?
Yes.
And overcome some of those things. So I love that. And then last, you said plan ahead. Now, sometimes I don't plan ahead. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just being totally honest. I don't.
Yes.
But when I do, things fall in place.
Yes.
So when you said consistency, I was like, that's what I need to continue to have, consistency, because when things fall the way it should, because I plan ahead, I'm like, then why am I not planning ahead? Also, take action. It has to be measurable and it has to be manageable.
Right.
So I take all these points in, and I know that I'm a victim. Some of that stuff I don't do sometimes and all the time, but just by being inspired by your story really make me to really be intentional about keeping on track with my plans, my goals, and I never forget my why. That's the one thing that I never will ever forget. And that's what keeps me going in this business. And I know that's definitely what's keeping you going, because we didn't even speak about it. And you are a best-selling author with Les Brown.
Yes,
oh my God. You see what God does? You see,
listen,
are obedient. When you say, God, give me this chance and I will show you. Now, this is a testimony here, Pearlette.
Yes.
God kept you alive because it was for a reason. And look at you, a best-selling author with Les Brown, my man.
I'm telling you, I pinch myself sometimes, honestly.
So you want to talk a little bit about your book?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So the title of the book is Ignite the Hunger in You. You know, Les Brown is always saying you got to be hungry. And it says how to develop your greatness and ignite humanity. So it is a compilation of stories about moments that ignite our lives and make us look at things differently and started to take action to move in a different direction. And so I am one of 35 authors in the book. And it was such a pleasure working with the legendary Mr. Les Brown, because we would attend training and stuff with him while we were writing the book. And Tikwa, I'm telling you, God is so amazing, because I didn't even know I would have gotten this opportunity, but it so happened that when it came my way, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to look into it. Yeah. And God has provided and allowed me to just be involved in it. And I have learned so much, and all the opportunities that have come by as a result. I'm telling you, just the association sometimes.
Yes.
Open doors.
Because God, He orders your footsteps. So this is why I always say, when we do things our way, we get frustrated, we get mad, and then that's when we're on the run to God. But His way is easy. If we just be patient and we wait on Him, His way, He's going to order our footsteps to the right people, open up more doors than we ever imagined. And when I saw that you were a co-author with Les Brown, I was like, go God, go Jesus. I said, I know her.
And you know what I love to Tikwa? Like, even where I am, I volunteer in the community, like, you know, with refugees who are new to Canada, who come from all these war-torn countries like Syria and Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff. And I see, when I was promoting the book, people saw that it was possible for them because they know me. I'm just a regular, everyday person.
Yes, and I love it.
I saw it just igniting a dream in some of those people. And believe me, that is just a joy to watch, to see people say, yeah, I can do it. How do you do it? Yes. And I love that.
Yes, I love it. That's even when President Obama became president, how it opened up a lot of people's eyes and inspired them to be more. Now we have our children. It's like, I want to be a president now, because they see the possibility, right?
Yes.
When they see us move forward and follow our dreams and follow those steps, it impacts other people's lives.
Yes.
That's
and you
the
don't
thing.
even know.
Yeah. People that you don't even know. Exactly. People that you don't
Exactly.
even know. So that's powerful right there. And that's God, because that's what he wants.
Totally. Because I'm thinking, my goodness, this second chance that I got, I'm telling you, Tikwa, it has given me boldness. I am like so bold. I don't even know where it come from. I'm like, nope, this unfinished business, I'm not going to the grave with none of that no more. I'm done with that.
That's right. Oh my God. I tell you, the mindset, that's what it is. It's the mindset as well.
Yes. Exactly.
Knowing that you can do it. And then when you put your foot down and say, you know what? Nope, this enough is enough. This is what I'm going to do. I said I was going to be an author. I said I'm going to be a speaker. I am going to be a best-selling author. So when you put that forth into the atmosphere and you ask God for what he wants, for what you want, you're going to get it because you asked him.
You must get it because you are working towards it, right?
Exactly.
Like if I didn't do my week ahead planning and know that, okay, this week I'm going to work on the chapter. I'm just going to write 2 paragraphs because that's the time I had this morning that I set aside for tomorrow morning, 2 more paragraphs and schedule it in. I'm like, gee. And I'm telling you, it's exactly the same thing I do. I'm sharing with you. That's how I was able to do it.
Amen. Amen. That is awesome. So I hope that the audience have taken away something from this podcast today, because I think that this is the most powerful session that I had, because she broke it down into 4 steps to help you plan out your day, to help you stay consistent. And if you want to work with Pearlette, Pearlette will let you know how you can work with her. And I believe that she has a freebie for you as well. So when she shared that link with me, I will share that as well with everyone on this podcast. So Pearlette, let us know how we could connect with you. And what is that freebie that you're going to be giving the audience?
Sure. Yes, it is my absolute pleasure to share with you the Get It Done worksheet. And it is a tool that will help you to map out your tasks for the week. So all you have to do is to download it, and I've made it fillable as well. So it's easy for you. And I have a Facebook group. I would love to see some of you if that's something you would like. The title of the group is The Impact of Good Habits. So you can reach out to me by DM or join the group. I'd love to have you join our community. And Tikwa, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Always a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes.
And your amazing community.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure having you, and hopefully we'll have you again. And also, I just wanted to reiterate, please be a part of her group, because Pearlette is very consistent. Okay? That's all I want to end this with. So thank you, Pearlette, for being my visitor here on this session, and we welcome you back.
Thank you so much, Tikwa. Such a pleasure. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Vision, Impact, and Purpose with Coach Tikwa. Be sure to tune in again for new episodes and visit her website at tikwa.com.